What's going on, guys? Wesley here. Today I have so much information to give you guys about Battlefield 6 portal codes. There are multiple different new portal codes that you can do right now that are completely optimized for XP, challenges, weapons, and so much more. But I also have some bad news that I will go over in a minute, including restrictions on multiple portal codes, the fact that DICE is actually coming after some of the portal codes, and so much more. So if you don't want to waste your time, make sure that you smash that like button and subscribe for more to support me for absolutely free. And let's hop right into things. So I have brand new codes for brand new maps. Eastwood, I have a rush code that you can use right now, and I have multiple other codes that you can use in order to max out the XP, but depending on what challenges you need to do on your account will determine which portal code you should use. And on my channel, I like to go through every single portal code after every single patch, test them all for you so that you can bookmark a singular video and make sure that you have all the information you need. So let's go over all the updates that I've learned in the past day or two, including the fact that multiple different portal codes for a short period of time did not work, indicating that DICE is actually making changes and pushing hot fixes that do affect some of these portal codes. So you're not going to see any portal codes that have bots that are lined up like this. You're not going to see any of those old style portal codes, and also any stats that you gain from these portal lobbies will not count. Only public lobbies with real players will actually count towards your stats, and there is a 1.5 million XP cap that resets at 00 or midnight GMT time and has a 15-minute rollout, meaning that you might not see it instantly, but depending on what your time zone is, that may be 6 p.m. in the afternoon, just go Google that time zone and Google will tell you exactly what that is in your local time. That'll give you a good idea of if you're actually seeing rubber banding. If you go into a lobby, for example, and get a million XP, you might leave the lobby and your account resets to a earlier level. Also, if you try to host any of these lobbies, just know if you get this undefined error, it is very important that you know that that code is completely patched. I have not seen any come back whenever they start getting that undefined error. So let's start going over to the actual portal codes. The first one I'm going to be showing you guys is on Eastwood. This one is absolutely ridiculous and might just be my new favorite one. So let's check it out. So all the bots don't have any weapons, just like in some of these SOBAT codes that you may have seen. If you're new to these codes, just know ZDRNT is this code. You're going to search for it using the experience search box. That is the bottom search box when you click on the community tab and click search experiences. And if you ever see that whenever you shoot at the bots, you're not actually getting hits, you're not getting headshots and things of that nature, just know that that is a problem with the game mechanics. It's the bots getting too bunched up. So try to kill them and walk around. That is probably the best way that you can get those kills without missing any shots. However, I highly suggest that you go near one of the points on this map because you're going to get offensive or defensive bonuses. You can see that there at the bottom where it says kills. You can see I also have offensive showing times 15, 16, 17, 18, and it just keeps going. That's going to give you some bonus XP, but just know that if you want to switch weapons, make sure that you click start, go under admin controls, and restart the map. Do not redeploy or throw a grenade, and make sure that you go down and then respawn. The reason for this is sometimes you will not get that offensive or defensive bonus whenever you respawn. There's also a brand new SOBAT code that actually has faster spawns and is absolutely ridiculously broken. You can see all of these bots here. None of them have weapons, just like the classic codes, but they definitely are coming at me faster. At least it may be a placebo effect, but this is definitely my new favorite code. This is ZERW4. This is the best SOBAT code by far. This is going to be 60 minutes, just like the last one. On these rush maps, you're going to have about 60 minutes per sector. So what that means is you're pretty much having 60 minutes to sit here and kill all the bots. Now you can easily press start before the 60-minute mark comes up and restart. There's also a brand new Manhattan code, which I'm going to show you guys right now. This, honestly, I keep saying they're my favorite, but I like the Manhattan map personally. I don't know about you guys. Make sure you leave a comment down below on which one of these is your favorite. But honestly, these rush maps are absolutely ridiculous, and all these bots just respawn so much quicker than on Conquest, and you don't have the the possibility of them taking all objectives when you're not paying attention and the game ending early. So this one is super easy to do. It's ZEFSB. If I get any of the codes wrong and you actually search for them and they don't show up, just let me know in the comment section down below. I did have that happen on one video, but I promise I'm better than that. So let's hop right into the next one. Essentially, all of these, no matter which one that you host, you want to make sure that you host it with a password just so that other players cannot join, and don't set persistent host on. Now I'm going to include the original audio for the old codes. Let's hop right into them. Now, like I said, these are custom created. I mean, look at the image at the top right. So this first code is ZDD8A. Now this one is absolutely broken and my personal favorite I wanted to show first. Every single weapon is available for this code, and you can play this solo or with teammates. Keep in mind that if you don't bring other people in, if you don't invite other people to replace the bot, you are going to have a bot on your team for this map. All 3 new codes, you're going to have at least 1 bot on your team that will have a weapon. Now, at first I thought that this was actually going to be a problem because he instantly goes for the objective, and I'm like, oh great, he's literally just going to end the game. But he's really not smart. He literally firebombed himself. So I don't really know what to do with that information other than tell you, you don't have to worry, because what will happen is the bots that are around the map will actually disarm the rush objectives over and over again. So it's super easy. Also, I'm not sure why the hitbox doesn't always work on these maps. I think it's just a general bug in Battlefield 6. But like I said, what you are allowed to do is stand next to these objectives and get attack and defense bonuses. So I'm going to give you a pro tip here if you've watched up until this point, which is very simple but affects your XP drastically. As you're getting your headshots on this map, it's super important to remember you need to stay by the objectives, because you can see at the bottom middle right there, you can see I'm getting offensive bonuses. Now, one pro tip that I mentioned just a second ago is that whenever you are done with a particular weapon, you do not want to respawn. So if you didn't know, you can press start and click redeploy. You might not actually continue to keep those offense and defensive bonuses. What you want to do instead is actually restart the map. Now you may be asking yourself, okay, but won't that take longer time? And honestly, it does take a couple of more seconds, but it's very important to remember that this will keep your offense and defense bonuses every single time. Sometimes that can glitch out and you're not going to continue to get those bonuses. So it's super important that you continue this if your objective is weapons. So that's a pro tip for you guys, to make sure that you are getting those mastery levels for your weapons, challenges, unlocks, attachments, whatever you are looking for. That's why I said that this video is more focused on specific challenges and a general XP. Whatever you need, I got it covered in this video. So now let's go over some of the original codes and how you can use them in order to unlock all of your challenges extremely easily. And the first code that I want to show you guys is absolutely ridiculous. It's on Operation Firestorm. YSXSM is absolutely broken, and you need to be using this one honestly for your vehicle challenges. This one is one of my favorites. There is one that does include jets, so this one is not going to include jets, so just keep that in mind. But you are going to have tanks that actually have an increased amount of health, so it's easy for you to down soldiers and infantry that are around you. However, there is a singular tank that they may use in order to attack you, so super easy to manage that, and you can easily redeploy in order to get new vehicles, get new challenges done, and just continue through. You can see it has a helicopter as well as a few different types of tank, and you can even get into the passenger helicopter and use the minigun in order to get kills from there. So really easy, and it's actually really nice for you to have a couple of bots on the team. In my opinion, not having any teammates whatsoever is a little bit daunting, because especially when you're in these games that have, you know, upwards of 60 plus bots against you, it kind of just becomes a drag. So let me show you guys the next map that is absolutely broken. This one is YUBDJ. Now this is one of my favorite maps, and I'll tell you why. This one not only has a ton of vehicles available to you, but you also don't have that many teammates. YUBDJ is the code again, and all you have to do is spawn into Operation Firestorm, and you can see all of these vehicles are available to you. You can actually camp out and spawn and down helicopters using the anti-air vehicle. However, you can also grab a jet once they spawn in after about a minute, and you're good to go. Now, this is a conquest map, so it's important to remember that the conquest cap all rule is in effect. So you want to make sure that at least one objective is not captured by the enemy if you don't want the game to end. Otherwise, you can just fight until you lose the game, and then you can easily restart the map. It's honestly going to restart on its own as long as you don't leave the game or go AFK and get kicked. So that's pretty much it. This one is absolutely ridiculous, and like I said, every single vehicle is available to you, whether you need a Forerunner or you need a Vector or you need a Leo, GE26, STRF. You need any of these. I have no idea what they are because I am not a war guy, but you know guys, you can get all of your vehicle unlocks right here. So you can see 2 different types of jets, and you can start this game extremely easily. Now you can bring in a separate player with you. You can likely play co-op with this, obviously, because you have 1 teammate and it's you against 32 bots. So it's a little bit easier to manage, you know, just the overall cap all rule for conquest. Typically I don't like these conquest maps because that will happen, especially with that Eastwood map, the new code that I showed you guys at the beginning of the video. But this next few codes are absolutely broken and definitely my personal favorite. So these Sobek codes are all of the original OG ones, and if you haven't seen them before, don't worry, I'm going to explain them. Z713A. And if you have seen these codes, don't worry, I'm going to show you the best possible way for you to get XP and challenges done right now. So this one in particular has about, I think, 47 bots. Yeah, there you go. So there's 1 player on your team and 47 on the other team. Every single one of them are going to be bots that do not have any weapons whatsoever. They have no way that they can actually attack you. You can even arm objectives and let them take the objective back. They only have 10 HP, so any fire bombs that you throw or any shots that you fire, anything like that, they are instantly going to go down. You can easily destroy the objectives if you want to get that match bonus at the very end of the game, and you can easily defend objectives. You can see I'm getting the offensive bonuses and such. Now, just to reiterate what I said at the beginning of the video, if you want to switch weapons, make sure that you restart the map and do not redeploy, because sometimes you are not going to be able to continue to get that match bonus, which is extremely important whenever you are trying to level up your weapons. So depending on what your goals are, right, it's going to be harder for you to get that defensive multiplier back unless you restart the map. So if you're going for the maximum amount of XP for your guns, level up, or just XP in general, I would highly suggest that you switch to weapons that you never use so that you can gain more and more of that XP. But like I said, when you're done and you are ready to end the game, I would highly suggest that you destroy all objectives just so you can get a little bit of a boost of XP at the end, depending on where you're at, right? And remember, at the beginning of the video, I mentioned the 1.5 million XP cap, so you really don't need the match bonus if you've already hit that. It's not going to count. So this next code is on Cairo. This one is actually going to have 64 bots. None of them are going to have weapons, but it's important to remember that if you do get into this tank, you will be targeted by some of the rockets. The code for this one is Z7YVP. Now this one is absolutely broken because it's much more smaller close quarters of a map. So you're going to have much more of an ability to get those headshots, and the bots are going to be a little bit crowding you more. But keep in mind, there's more buildings on this map and a little bit more close quarters. The AI is not that smart in this game, so sometimes they will get stuck or they will just look at you from a distance. So just make sure that you have an assault rifle or an LMG or something that's a little bit more long range if you want to make sure that you're maximizing your XP. And in the same respect, you can defend objectives. I'm just standing over here as an example to show you guys how these bots crowd around you. That one is definitely a map that you need to have in your repertoire, in your list, if you will. So the last one I'm going to be showing you guys is Z7YW6. Now this one is the OG map. This is the one that most people are using right now, and there's a reason for it, because there's already 63 bots on this map. You don't actually need to have much in order to hop into this game and use it for all of your challenges and XP. Now typically the best way that you can get XP is just be throwing incendiary rounds at the ground, or incendiary grenades rather, and just have them crowd around you, because the bots have only 10 HP. So if you use the support class, you can obviously use your supply and you can easily get those grenades back. Keep throwing them and just pretty much stay almost AFK. You could be watching TV or TikToks or whatever while you are gaining XP. But just keep in mind, I highly suggest that you stay near an objective. That way you can get those offensive and defensive bonuses. And you don't have to switch if you are using those as incendiary grenades, because you're not switching weapons. So you don't need to restart the map like I've mentioned a few times in this video. But if you are going for weapon XP, which I highly suggest that you do just because it gives you bonuses and overall better XP in general, then I highly suggest that you make sure you restart the map when you go to switch weapons and use new weapons, so you're getting more mastery levels and therefore more bonuses. So that's pretty much it for the codes, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you leave a like down below. Make sure you comment and ask any questions, and I'll catch you in the next one.